How do you do? Storyteller here, and welcome back to our weekly journal. This has been kind of a crazy week. Let's see, let's start with school. At school we had, our developing our photos. I told you guys I had two projects due, one where I had to adjust the brightness of a picture, and one where I had to either get extreme close-ups, diagonals, or symmetry. And I really liked how my project turned out, but apparently my teacher didn't, because he openly criticized it in front of the class. So that was fun. It was the way I had it. I took a picture of something, and what I focused on in the picture wasn't the closest thing to the camera. So something that was a little bit closer was a little out of focus, but that wasn't the subject of the picture. The subject of the picture was further away, so I focused on that. But he didn't like it. So, yay. And let's see. Poetry club. Oh, fun. I went there. It was supposed to be our first meeting this week. All the way up on the 4th floor of the tower room at my school. Got all the way up to the 4th floor. Class is supposed to begin at 3. I'm there at like 2:45, 2:50, 3... 3:05, 3:10, 3:15. Nobody showed up. I was the only one to show up, and yes, it was the right classroom. So, yeah. If I mentioned I've been trying to get into a poetry club at school, they've completely disintegrated, or I've been snubbed. I don't know, but yeah, so scratch that. So the new idea is there's a group. It's called life groups. They're basically clubs with a church I go to. And the idea is now I'm going to try to start my own poetry club in one of the clubs at the church. It's not quite the same, but you know, you take what you can get because I want a poetry club. So I'm starting my own. Fun. Alright. I have a list here. I actually made a list this time. I'm so organized, except they're out of order. I don't have everything put together. By the way, yes, my school is haunted. Completely haunted. Not even kidding. I will put in the video in here from the bathroom. We have a bathroom ghost. The most terrifying kind. I know. But every time I go in the bathroom and there's nobody else in there, because I'm in one of the less popular areas of the school, there's hardly anybody in there. I always go in there, and when I'm the only one in there, I'll walk by the sinks. Nothing will happen. Nothing. They're motion detected. But when I walk by them, nothing happens. Then I get to a stall, and I close the door, and I'll be in the stall, and I'll hear the sink go off. And I'll open the door, and the sink's pouring water, and then it turns off. Then I'll close the door. A minute later, it'll do it again. I've been trying to get this on camera for ages, and I just got it on camera. A video. The sink is on when I close the door. So I close the door, and you can hear the sink turn on. Then I open the door, and you see the sink still going. Then it stops, and then it starts again without me moving. So you guys will see my school is totally haunted. Not even kidding. So I'm going to scratch things off as I go so I don't get confused about what I've already talked about. Let's see. Talked about the photos. Talked about poetry club. Let's see. You guys like to hear about the figure drawing, but it hasn't been too interesting. The past 2 classes we've been working on a project. It's called the Creativity Project, so we had to do something a little bit different. Ordinarily, our drawings are on big pieces of newsprint, which is very, very thin paper, the same type that newspaper is made of, with charcoal on it. What I did for the Creativity Project is I took a big giant sheet of red paper and I did charcoal over it, and instead of drawing the skin tones and the highlights that you guys have seen in my other drawings, I used the red as skin tones. So the entire picture is blacked out and only the figure is red. So I think it's pretty cool. My teacher kind of liked it. A lot of people in the class didn't like it. There's a wicked girl in my class that comes up behind me, and her favorite line is, "Wow, that's really interesting." Ugh. Oh, speaking of which, The witch from work. I know so many. But, you see, the problem is she's created a dilemma for me. Because she's lazy. And she doesn't like to work. Even though myself and other employees there are working very hard, she will just stand there at the register and stare at us as we work. Because I don't have any authority to make her work. I'm not a manager. So she'll just stand there knowing I can't make her do anything. But the dilemma is she's actually being nice to me now. As she's leaving, she goes, "Bye, have a nice night." I'm like, why are you being nice to me? I don't like you. We haven't spoken. You've snubbed me both times I've said hello to you, so why are you being nice? And after a day of me not liking you because you've been lazy. Problems. Anyway, okay, so I'm scratching things off the list, but that wasn't even on my list. I didn't write that down. Let's see. Oh, our house guest. Our house guest that we've had for the past 2 weeks just moved out this morning. He didn't say goodbye. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. So that's a shame. But yeah, it was fun while he was here. I learned a lot about his culture and cooking. And oh, we had an adventure the other day. He wanted to go out and actually get some Indian food from a city nearby. And he hasn't gotten a chance to actually eat his own culture's food much since he's been here, so he wanted to have me try it too. And that day, he had just gotten his rental car, finally, but he didn't have a car before. The problem is that he's kind of new to driving here, and in India, they drive on the left side of the road, where we drive on the right side of the road. So we had a little trouble remembering what side of the road to stay on. So that was fun. And it was a little bit crazy getting there, but we finally got there. We got to this little Indian restaurant in the city. There aren't many around. I've noticed that. We found 2. But there was one in the city. It was pretty good, actually. But we get there, it's all dark. It's okay, but we ordered, and he ordered. I don't know if he was speaking English or he was just speaking in a really strong accent, but I have no idea what he ordered. What we ended up with at home was chicken curry, a flatbread that they make there. It's their traditional bread. Rice that was perfumed rice or spiced, something like that. Then we had this chicken with vegetables and a red sauce that at first I thought was tomato sauce, but it turns out it's chili pepper sauce. So needless to say, my mouth was completely on fire by the end of the meal, but it was delicious. I mean, it was so good, but it's volcanic, but delicious. It was really good. And it was fun having a little adventure around the city, so it was cool. I'm gonna miss him. He's gone. And I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. He's not gone forever, though. He's just in a few states over, so he'll visit. But it's not the same. It's not the same. So I'm gonna scratch that off my list so I know where I am. Like I said, nothing is in order on my list. There we go. Oh, got that. Oh, speaking of school, by the way, I gotta go back to school for a second. No, don't go back to school, it's the weekend. Got to go back to the topic of school for a second. Finally, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, I think I might have forgotten it, but I played chess with the redneck. The one who had the piece of paper on the bulletin board, leaving his number saying if you want to play chess, text me. Finally played chess. It was a long game, it lasted 15-20 minutes. That's long for me, because I usually lose a lot faster. He beat me, which is kind of embarrassing, because, you don't want the redneck with the camo to beat you at chess. But he did, and it was right down to it. I thought it was going to be a stalemate. I had a king, a few pawns, and I think a bishop, and he had a rook, a king, some pawns, and maybe a knight left. I don't know, I don't remember, but seriously, not even 12 pieces left on the board. And he beat me. He cornered my king, and he got checkmate. I was so mad. I thought it was going to be a stalemate. And I started out so well. Like, I started pretty well, and he was off his game at first. Like, he lost his queen right in the beginning of the game, and I'm like, I've got this. This is awesome. I'm going to win. And then I didn't. So, yeah, I'm very happy about that. Let's see. I'll talk about that. Let's see. Dress shopping. We have an event coming up for the church I go to. It's sort of I think I've talked about this, but it's an appreciation for all the volunteers who have been helping out over the past year since we moved to a new building. And it's kind of a gala. It's a dance type of thing, but there's no dancing. Yeah, go figure. It's just a celebration, but dress shopping has been a nightmare. But thankfully, I decided on a dress, and it's gorgeous, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. I'm not sure. I might have mentioned this in my last journal, though, because it was last Sunday, but I don't remember if I recorded before or after I got the dress. But I got my dress and shoes, so that's good. It's all over. Now I just have to go through the terror of wearing it. Oh, and I'm doing the photography for the event, so I'm not actually having to socialize or, mingle with other humans. I just have to take the pictures. Yay! And looking fantastically fabulous while I do it. So, scratch that off. And last but not least, but this is fun, you guys know I just got my hair done. And the lady who did my hair, she's done it like twice now because my other hairdresser moved. So she did this, and while she's doing this, she's talking to me. And we're just having a normal conversation. Oh, honey, where do you work? Oh, what do you like? What are you interested in? Oh, really? You're a photography student and you're in college. Oh, you sound like a nice girl. Oh, my son has been trying to meet a nice girl, trying to meet somebody just, mature, trying to find somebody to go to the movies with, somebody to hang out with that won't get him into trouble. You're a really nice girl. Where did you say you work? Oh, that's nice. Do you have today off? Oh, you do. Are you working tomorrow? You are. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Oh, well, I'm all done with your hair, sweetheart. Next day, after I get my hair done, very next day, hairdresser comes in, and she's got somebody with her. And I say, oh, hi. Wait, it's her son. And they've come in to develop one picture, to get a copy of one picture. Yeah, that's not a very strong alibi for being in there. But, yeah, they come in to get a picture done, and they request my help. They go, can she help us get it done? Thankfully, I was with a customer at the moment, so I couldn't leave, so somebody else did it. But then they come up to the register, and she's talking to me. Oh, I love your hair. You look like a supermodel. You look so cute. Doesn't she look so cute? And he's like, yeah. And then she turns to him, and she's like, oh, honey, give her your number. Give her your phone number. Maybe you guys can go out. I'm like, if your mom has to be your wingman to give a girl your number, you've got a problem. There's something wrong. He's not a kid. Like, he's not young. He's, I think 25 or 26. He doesn't need mommy's help. But, yeah, honey, give her your number. And he does. So, yeah. Got the digits. It was funny, but now the problem is I can't go back to that hairdresser now that I've snubbed her son. Like, if I don't call him back to go to the movies with him, I can't go back to that hairdresser. She's gonna you can't do much else to this hair, but she's gonna light my head on fire. I can't go back to her now that I've stood up her son. So that's a problem. So yeah, I don't think there's too much else going on. I have nothing left on my list. I have scratched everything off. I'm just trying to think if there is anything I haven't thought of. We have another new girl at work. She's nice. I can tell she's a hard worker, and she's learning pretty quickly, but she hasn't got that much of a personality, which is okay. It's work. I don't expect you to be overly social, but compared to the older girl, that's hard. We have 3 new girls. The one I really like, the one who's and then the one I call horsehair, because she has hair like a horse, and she's lazy, but she's been oddly nice lately, so that's a problem. Anyway, I think I'm all done. I really don't think there's anything else to talk about, and I don't want this video to be too long. These journals are just kind of supposed to keep you guys updated on my life. So that's about it. Not too much going on. So we'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!